Bonjour, je m'appelle Nakato. I work with Uganda Network of Young People Living with HIV as the Policy and Advocacy Officer. But personally, much of my work is around activism for better health and for the rights of young people. So my work as an activist entails creating an enabling environment for young people living with HIV, but those that are not living with HIV, to be able to make informed decisions, but to also be able to access services and make choices that positively impact on their lives. So in the scope of my work, I advocate for increased financing to health, but also for improvement in systems of health, and to ensure that the country that we live in as Uganda, but also the world as a whole, the health systems, but also the health structure is improved and is well enough. People are able to access services, and people are able to make their leaders accountable about the services related to health they want to access. Yes, COVID-19 has really had a bigger impact on my work, because in my kind of work I travel a lot, but also importantly is that my activism is in the communities with the people. So I've not been able to travel far distances to meet my people or even to provide psychosocial support to my people, but importantly to get data from my people. But I am glad to note that with every challenge there comes an opportunity. I've also been able to use the digital world to keep in touch with many of my other people. But it's a challenge that the people who are in the rural areas, who even don't have access to internet or access to a smartphone or a laptop, I've ended up missing out on those people. But importantly, that right now there is the ease on the lockdown, I am able to travel and meet those people. So France as a country is a loving country, and my relationship to France would be that everyone wants to relate to a country that is loving. And just as we see that with the new president, Emmanuel Macron, realized that his love and passion for health, but also importantly his passion for improved investment in health, as we can see from the Global Fund, but to also note that France is the second largest donor to the Global Fund. So that alone makes a bigger relationship with France, because particularly in Uganda we have approximately 1.4 million people living with HIV, and many of them depend on the financing of the Global Fund to save them from life-threatening diseases of HIV, TB, and malaria. So the funding from the Global Fund, but importantly the commitment of the French embassy and the French people, is saving millions of lives across the globe and in Uganda in particular. Yes, the relationship that we really have with the French embassy in the country, but also in my area of work. One thing to note is that the French embassy is also a supporter for the culture, but also for improved education. And in my particular campus, Chambogo University, the French embassy is supporting students and financing them with the tuition, but also on registration fees to be able to take French classes. So I would also look forward to be one of the candidates that would be supported for that. So the Bastille Day, oh goodness. The Bastille Day is more of like an enormous event in the whole globe. But importantly, this is more of like an event that changed the rule of law and democracy. And just as the French people changed their mindset, but also being able to push and demand for a country that is democratic, a country of leaders that are for the people and not for themselves. And that is really something that we can remember and look forward and see that as we move forward on enhancing democracy for the globe, but importantly for the whole countries in the world, this is the right time for leaders to know that democracy is for the people, and the concept of the rule of people, but importantly for the beneficiary of the people. So presidents, leaders have to serve the people. So that is one bigger change that the Bastille Day brought in the world.